Welcome to the SVG-TV news for Friday, March 24th. With the details tonight, I'm Khalil Cato. Leader of the opposition New Democratic Party, Dr. Godwin Friday, said that public sector workers who were affected by the government's vaccine mandate not only need to be put back on the job with full benefits intact, but are also entitled to respect. Dr. Friday was addressing a virtual rally last evening hosted by the party on the government's intention to appeal the High Court ruling, which deemed the vaccine mandate unconstitutional and illegal. The NDP's rally was held under the slogan, "To appeal is to punish workers."
What they are doing now, rubbing salt into the wound, threatening to draw it out onto the Privy Council with your taxpayers' money, in a situation where on the ground the circumstances have changed. We are planning now. I hear Casper G inviting us to come to tent for Carnival. People are learning to live with COVID. What you're trying to prove? What are you trying to prove? Ralph was wrong. He got it wrong. What happened? You can't be wrong. And to appeal this decision in these circumstances, we know there's a right of appeal. But in these circumstances, it compounds the injury. It makes the wrong even bigger. And this is what the entire country need to make indisputably clear to the government. What will it take for them to understand that the vast majority of the people in this country want this thing to end, and they want it to end the way the court said?
Dr. Friday said it is time Vincentians come together and stand up against the actions of the government.
There comes a time in the history of any country when you have to say enough is enough. We have passed that point in this country. The New Democratic Party, when the vaccine mandate law was being passed in the parliament, we were in the parliament. That morning they came with a different draft of it. I took it, I went out to the streets, and I read it out to the people who were there. We went back in the parliament to do our business. But we called on the government, we said, don't pass this law. They said, oh, they're not bringing in a mandate, this is not a mandate law. But we're not stupid, we knew it was. And people came out on the street, that was a year and a half ago, and they protested. And they said to the government, do not pass this law. Didn't listen. And then the unions took the matter to court and they say, pull back the law. And they wouldn't listen. The churches, they came out because you're sitting in a pew with a teacher and a public servant who is a victim of this policy, and you must feel it and say to them, we are with you until your government pull back the law. But they did not listen. And now the court has said to them, you were wrong. And they are giving the impression that they are the ones now, as Sister Kay pointed out, that the government is the one now that's going to feel pain and suffering, and they will be aggrieved. Give me a break.
The NDP leader said the government got it wrong with the vaccine mandate and need not punish the affected workers more with an appeal of the High Court ruling.
And how could they not see through this? What goes on in the mind of a leader or a political party that they are so insulated from public opinion, from common sense, that they cannot see this? And then ask yourself this, what else do they get wrong? If you could screw up something as important as this, that is so clear, how can you trust this government going forward? It tells me, and it should tell everyone, it's a cautionary tale, if you need it anymore. This particular case, these set of circumstances, have all brought together all of the things that we have been pointing out about this administration, this government, over the years. And they are there, documented. But people didn't pay attention. Because you know why? Every so often, they throw a big party. And they're going to have one on Sunday again out of the tarmac. Nero fiddling while Rome burns.
Noting that the matter is one of national importance, President of the Teachers Union, Oswald Robinson, who addressed the NDP rally, said it has not been an easy journey, fighting for members whose rights were being trampled upon by the government's vaccine mandate.
16 long months have passed, and this government continues to say we love and we care, and they're changing the narrative. They said that the mandate was to make the workplace safer. It never happened. Many schools were closed. Teachers who were on the job got sick. And children, they say now it's for livelihood. But you put over 500 workers off the breadline. So my people, we got to stand up. Somebody says, stand up for your rights. Can you imagine the government handpick 12 doctors and say, only you can give medical exemptions? And in my observation, what actually happened, it seemed as though you were rewarded for not granting exemptions. Should be the other way around. So the medical profession was divided. They divided the churches, and they set about to divide the workers.
Robinson said the approach taken by the government with its vaccination mandate has been wrong from the start, and this is why they are finding it difficult to accept the High Court ruling.
Because the lone judge brought about a revelation of a lot of things which were being done wrongfully. The whole overreach. Leave the Public Service Commission and the Public Service Commission to do its work. It's in the Constitution. So why are you trying to tamper with it? You tried with the referendum, you didn't get through. You keep trying, but time is longer than twine. So my people, we need to be conscious of what we are fighting against. Many of our teachers got sick. And some died. So this thing about saving lives and for livelihood, that's the opposite. The science is there. Whether you're vaccinated or not, you could still contract whatever is it, and you could still spread it. Parliament had to be closed one time. And now you're calling back the unvaccinated teachers to the workplace. Well, in the first case, you said if you put them there, the place would be unsafe. Somebody is not listening.
The Teachers Union president also called on Vincentians to stand up and fight for their rights, noting that they need to do so with determination and vigor.
And so, my people, now is the time to be awakened out of our slumber. Let us open our eyes and see that we have to make an about turn. How can you say that you're a Christian and you see your brother and sister out there suffering, and you sit back idly and you call it politics? Yes, it's politics. Because anything about social and economic injustice is something that needs to stop. And we need to stop it. You're taking the same people's money to pay lawyers against them, using the Constitution against the people. And now you're going to take more money, and you're coming to say, the money you're taking now, you can't find it to pay. Well, I have been doing some research. I'm not a lawyer. And what I have been reading in some of those case law is that it's very difficult for you to appeal, especially when it comes to people's fundamental right. You have tortured the people. You have dehumanized them. There are many workers today who have lost trust in the government.
Meanwhile, calling in on Star Radio on Thursday, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says he saw that the unions are threatening to shut down the public service and that they could go right ahead, as their actions will not change his mind from appealing the High Court ruling.
You can't even get 100 people at a protest on Monday, and the other does not do the parliament. Yet they will lock down the public service.
Yes.
I locked down the teaching profession.
I saw that threat.
90-something% of the teachers and nearly 100% of the frontline workers in the public service took the vaccine and went to work heroically. Friday says, no. Those are not the heroes. Those are the ones who foolishly complied.
Yeah.
The heroes are those who stay away. You know, the teachers and public servants on the front line who took the vaccine and went to work. They're calling me and writing me and texting me and say, wait, if those people who stayed away for whatever reason, you know, some stayed away selfishly, some stayed away because of politics, they want to give us a black eye, and some stayed away because of conscience reasons now. And the people are writing me, texting me, those who went to work. They say, well, if they're supposed to get paid for all the time they stay away and damages, they say, what about we who braved the pandemic? Huh?
Yes. Fair question.
And fundamentally, as I've said over and over, my conscience is clear. We acted to save lives and livelihoods, and we didn't save lives and livelihoods.
Absolutely.
On Sunday, the ruling Unity Labour Party, ULP, headed by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, will celebrate 22 years in government here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The celebration will take the form of a rally at the decommissioned E.T. Joshua Airport tarmac at Arnisvale. On radio yesterday, Prime Minister Gonsalves said in every single aspect of public policy, the ULP government has improved the quality of life and livelihoods of Vincentians with excellent governance over the past 22 years.
Our citizens don't listen to good sense and get themselves in trouble. Whether it's with health or whether it's the law or anything, we some who are interested in working and so on, is we in the government and the community as a whole in solidarity have to pick up the pieces and help out. And I want to say something again, which I've always said. I have no quarrel with people who went to court, against the government. And I have no malice or bad-mindedness towards those who did so or who didn't take the vaccine. Those who didn't take the vaccine, I think they were misguided, save and except for those who they just believe not to take it or had medical wrongs, the exceptions which were in the law. So we want to see healing, but it can only be done not on an opportunistic basis. It has to be done with absolute clarity to the highest court plan. Nobody could seriously expect to take one judge's view.
Sunday's rally will hear addresses from the leader of the ULP, Prime Minister Gonsalves, other members of the party and well-wishers. There will also be a packed entertainment package featuring several local and overseas acts, including Skinny Fabulous, Logic, Nyla Blackman, Mighty Gabby, and Fireman Hooper. The rally, which will be open to the public, is free of cost and expected to begin at 6 p.m. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has lost a distinguished physician and surgeon. Sir Arthur Cecil Cyrus passed away today at his home at Government House Road at the age of 94. Sir Cyrus served for 13 years as the lone surgical specialist at the then Colonial Hospital, now the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, and then for 30 years at his private Botanic Hospital. He established the Dr. Cecil Cyrus Museum in 2022, which featured hundreds of pathological specimens and medical photographs captured throughout his medical career. Sir Cecil was the author of several books and was knighted for services to medicine and health on March 20th, 2019, during a visit of His Royal Highness Prince Charles, now King Charles III. In a telephone interview with SVG-TV News, infectious disease specialist Dr. Gerald Thompson said Dr. Cyrus's medical legacy will live on for a very long time and that he will be missed by all.
Cecil Cyrus was not only a national, but I would say a regional international medical icon. And he basically performed his skills during an era when we did not have the modern medicine tools such as CAT scans and MRIs and so forth. However, his level of skill was able to save a tremendous amount of people's lives, and he was an inspiration to me. I worked with him as a medical student, and I had the pleasure of playing a couple of squash games with him. But his legacy, I can tell you, will live on, not only in terms of the people and he's delivered and the grandkids and so who emerged out of the people's lives he saved, but the clinical knowledge and so that he's left in terms of pathology in his book and his experiences over the years is something that will certainly live on. And as a physician, I would say all physicians in St. Vincent de Grenadines, the region, will know that we have lost a true medical and clinical icon.
A number of health facilities across St. Vincent and the Grenadines will benefit from a donation of emergency response equipment from the Republic of China and Taiwan through its Public Health Emergency Response System Enhancement Project. The new equipment, manufactured and sourced from Taiwan, were officially handed over during a ceremony held today at the Beachcombers Hotel, where officials from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment, the Taiwanese Diplomatic Corps and the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force were privy to demonstrations of the specialized medical equipment. Ambassador of the ROC to SVG, His Excellency Peter Shalilan, said in his remarks that the project is designed to improve the capacity to save lives of Vincentians, enhance the quality of health services provided at the various public health centers, and further strengthen public health awareness across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. State-of-the-art portable ultrasound machines, defibrillators, ICU ventilators, automated chest compression devices, and a host of other life-saving equipment valued at over $240,000 were included in the donation. In 2022, a total of 10 medical professionals completed a 3-month emergency medical technician EMT1 and cardiovascular life support ACLS training of trainers course in Taiwan. Another cohort of 10 is expected to commence this training in May to further enhance the capacity of local personnel within the health sector. The 4-year project officially commenced on November 21st, 2021. Effective today, the operations of First Caribbean International Bank Barbados Limited FCIB here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have ceased, and its operations will now be subsumed as part of the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines BOSVG. On July 15, 2022, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, in consultation with the ECCB Monetary Council, approved the application for the transfer of the assets and liabilities of FCIB, St. Vincent and the Grenadines branch, to BOSVG, pursuant to Section 43 of the Banking Act 2015 of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as amended. In accordance with these approvals, the ECCB issued an updated banking license to BOSVG, and the banking business vesting orders have been signed and gazetted here. The ECCB says it remains resolute in its mandate to supervise all licensed financial institutions under the Banking Act 2015, and as the financial sector in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union is evolving, it is encouraging citizens and residents to stay abreast of developments.